people just won $1.8 billion. On September 6, 2025, 2 lives changed forever. The $1.8 billion Powerball was split between 2 tickets sold in Texas and Missouri, second largest win in U.S. history. But history says they might lose more than they gain. Before you chase that fantasy, let's talk about what happens after the win. Because sudden wealth doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your relationships, your peace, your identity. Before we get swept up in a dream, let's look at the reality. Hey guys, I am Naomi and welcome to Living the Journey with Naomi. If you've ever thought, if I just had more money, everything would be better, right? Then this video is for you. So before you imagine the mansion, the jets, let's talk about what comes after the win. Now, let me be clear. This video isn't asking you to gamble your life away. The odds of winning are 1 in hundreds of millions. Buying 100 tickets does not improve your chances. If God or luck says it's enough, then just 1 ticket is enough. This video isn't about chasing the jackpot. It's about what happens if you ever do win, so you can protect your peace, your people, and your purpose. Now, let's get started. Picture this. You won $1.8 billion. You quit your job, buy a house, buy a Lamborghini. Travel the world, everyone's happy. You're the hero. But here's the truth. Most lottery winners lose everything. Not just the money, but their friends, their family, their peace. Sudden wealth changes how people treat you. Some get jealous, some feel entitled, some just want a piece of your win. And if you're not ready, it can destroy everything. Now, let's talk about what really happens after the win. Stay with me. Let me tell you about the stories of a few lottery winners. Now we're going to be talking about lottery winner Jack Whitaker, a construction magnate, occasional player, devoted churchgoer. He won $315 million in 2002. Jack Whitaker wasn't chasing escape. He was chasing excess. Already worth $17 million as a successful construction company owner, he only played when Jackpot soared. On Christmas Eve, he bought $100 worth of quick pick tickets while grabbing a biscuit and gas. The purchase was on a whim. By Christmas morning, he was $314 million richer. But Jack, he didn't start with Lamborghinis. He started with gratitude. He tipped the biscuit maker who sold him the winning ticket. Then he bought her a house worth $123,000, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and wrote her a $45,000 check. He said he wouldn't have a dime of that money if it weren't for her. He pledged 10% of his winnings to churches across West Virginia, built new places of worship, founded the Jack Whitaker Foundation, donating millions to feed and clothe families in need. Jack said, "I want to be a good example." And he was a good example. But the money didn't just magnify his generosity. It magnified everything. His home was robbed twice. He was sued, arrested, eventually divorced. And then came the heartbreak no amount of wealth could shield. His granddaughter, Brandy Bag, was found dead in 2004. Wrapped in a tarp behind a junk van. She was 17 years old. And his daughter, Ginger Whitaker Bragg, died in 2009 after a long battle with cancer. She was 42. These losses compounded the emotional fallout of his win. Whitaker once said, "I wish I'd torn that ticket up." A haunting echo that underscores life. Central truth. Sudden wealth doesn't just test your finances. It tests your soul. It doesn't just change your life, it exposes every part of it. So drop a heart in the comments if generosity ever costs you peace. Now, let's talk about lottery winner Abraham Shakespeare, who won $30 million on a Florida Lotto ticket in 2006. He was a casual laborer, occasional player, generous to a fault. Abraham Shakespeare wasn't chasing fame. He was chasing a soda. And you may be saying, a soda? Yes. On a delivery run to Miami, he stopped at a convenience store in frostproof Florida. With $5 in his pocket, he gave $2 to a coworker to buy 2 lottery tickets. 2 days later, he was holding a $30 million check. He chose the lump sum, which was $17 million. He bought a modest home, a Nissan Altima, a Rolex from a pawn shop, but mostly he gave. He paid off mortgages, buried strangers, and gave his stepfather $1 million. Abraham didn't just win money, he won attention, and that attention became a threat. He told his brothers, "I better off been broke." He told a childhood friend, "I thought all these people were my friends, but they just want money." Then came Doris Dee Moore. She said she wanted to write a book about his life. Instead, she took control of his finances. She bought herself a Hummer, a Corvette, and a vacation. In 2009, Abraham disappeared. His body was found buried under a concrete slab in Moore's backyard. He was 42 years old. Abraham Shakespeare didn't die from excess. He died from exploitation, because sudden wealth doesn't just attract opportunity, it attracts predators. So tell me, have you ever seen someone give with an open heart, only to be taken for granted? Drop a broken heart in the comments if yes or comment protect your peace. And just when you think it couldn't get darker, there's Michael Carroll. He didn't lose his life, he lost himself. Michael Carroll was a garbage collector, a regular player, self-proclaimed king of chavs. He won $9.7 million in the UK lottery in 2002. Michael Carroll was just 19 years old, a garbage collector in Norfolk, England. He played the lottery regularly, hoping for a way out. In 2002, he hit the jackpot for 9.7 million pounds. That's nearly 20 million US dollars at the time. And he lived like it. He bought a mansion nicknamed The Grange. Michael hosted wild parties with drugs, sex, and celebrity guests. He spent millions on cars, jewelry, and chaos. Within a few years, the mansion was trashed. His wife left him. He was arrested multiple times. By 2010, the money was gone. Michael applied for a job at a cookie factory. He didn't lose his life. He lost himself, because fast money doesn't come with brakes. And when you speed through millions without purpose, you crash. Michael burned through millions chasing pleasure. But Bud, he didn't give it away. His own brother tried to take it. Because when money flows through the veins, even blood ties can become toxic. So now we're going to be talking about lottery winner William Bud Post. He won $16.2 million in a Pennsylvania lottery in 1988. And you may be asking, who is Bud Post? Good question. Bud Post was a struggling handyman, occasional lotto player, borrowed $3 to buy the ticket. Bud Post had just $2.46 in his bank account. He was living on disability. He pawned a ring for $40 and gave the cash to his landlady to buy 40 lottery tickets. And one of them hit. Overnight, Bud went from broke to $16.2 million richer. He bought a mansion, a twin-engine plane, despite not having a pilot's license, a used car lot, a liquor license, a restaurant lease, and in 2 weeks, Bud spent over $300,000. Within 3 months, he was $500,000 in debt. But the real danger wasn't the spending. It was the people closest to him. His brother hired a hitman to kill him for the inheritance. His landlady sued him for 1/3 of the winnings. A judge froze his lottery payments. Bud fired a shotgun at a man trying to collect the debt. He fired another gunshot into his 6 wife's Pontiac. By the end, he was bankrupt, living on disability. Bud Post thought money would protect him, but wealth doesn't shield you from betrayal. Because when wealth seeps into the system, even family can become the poison. Bud faced betrayal from blood. Jane faced destruction from within. Because addiction doesn't care how much you win, it only cares how fast you fall. Now let's talk about lottery winner number 5, James Hayes, a security guard, regular player, from jackpot to jail. He won $19 million in California on a super lotto in 1998. James Hayes was a security guard in Southern California. He played the lotto regularly, hoping for a break. In 1998, he got one, $19 million. But at first, it looked like a win. But slowly, everything began to fall apart. His ex-wife took half, he developed $1,000 a week heroin habit, and when money ran out, he started robbing banks. He became known as the PT Cruiser Bandit, robbing 9 banks to fund his addiction. James Haynes didn't lose his money to bad investments. He lost it to pain. He was sentenced 33 months in federal prison because addiction doesn't care how much you win, it only cares how fast you fall. James robbed banks to feed the habit. Billy gave everything to feed hope. But generosity without boundaries can leave you empty. Now, let's talk about Billy Bob Harrell Jr., a former Marine, Home Depot stalker, devoted churchgoer, occasional player. Billy Bob Gerald won $31 million in Texas in 1997 playing the Lotto. Billy Bob Harrell Jr. stocked shelves at Home Depot. In June 1997, he won $31 million in the Texas Lotto. The first of his $1.24 million annual payouts felt like salvation. Billy gave generously, 480 turkey dinners to the poor, tens of thousands to churches, cars and homes for family and friends. He even donated to churches in other states. But generosity without boundaries became a trap. Strangers called his house demanding for money. He changed his phone number multiple times. He made a bad deal, trading future payments for a lump sum, and lost millions. His marriage also crumbled. A former Marine and print shop manager, he'd been laid off and was struggling to support his wife and children. His debts piled up, and the attention he once loved turned into isolation. Less than 2 years after his win, Billy Bob Harrell Jr. died by suicide. He left behind 3 notes, one to his ex-wife, "I didn't want this, I just wanted you." Before his death, he told a financial advisor, "Winning the lottery is the worst thing that ever happened to me." Billy gave until he had nothing left. His peace, his marriage, his life. Because when kindness flows without limits, it can flood the very foundation you stand on. Billy tried to save others. Lara and Roger tried to save each other. And even love can't survive when wealth becomes the weapon. Lara and Roger Griffiths, they won $1.8 million in the UK lottery in 2005. Lara was a teacher, Roger an IT manager. They played the lottery casually like most couples. Then one day, they hit big, $1.8 million. At first, it felt like euphoria. They bought a luxury home, designer clothes, a Porsche. Roger even recorded a music album. But when the thrill died down, they were staring at the same problems. Just dressed in designer clothes, once the excitement passed, they realized money hadn't healed a thing. The arguments then started over spending, over control, over everything. Lara and Roger had it all on paper, but wealth can't fix what's already broken. The crash came fast. They divorced, the house was sold, the dream dissolved. Because sudden wealth doesn't just test your finances, it tests your foundation. And if the foundation is cracked, the whole thing collapses. Now, let's talk about lottery winner number 8, Jay Summers. He won $29.8 million in the Michigan lottery in 1988. He was a race car driver, occasional player. He trusted the wrong friend. Lara and Roger had it all on paper. But Jay, he had horsepower. Jay Summers was a race car driver in Michigan. He shared $28.9 million with a group of co-workers. His first move, 5 luxury cars. His trusting a friend to manage his money. That friend emptied his account. Jay went from racetracks to pizza delivery routes just to survive. He didn't lose it to addiction. He lost it to misplaced trust. Because when money enters the room, even loyalty can distort. Jay lost his millions chasing horsepower and trust. And Marie, she lost hers chasing love. Jay lost it trying to go faster. Marie lost it by trying to hold on. Because when money's in the mix, even the purest intentions can shift. Moving on to lottery winner number 9, Marie Holmes. a single mom, Walmart employee, one-ticket believer. She won $188 million playing Powerball in 2015. Jay lost it chasing horsepower and trust, and Marie, she lost her millions chasing love. Marie Holmes was a single mom, working at Walmart. She wasn't chasing millions, she was chasing relief. She bought one ticket, just one, and it changed everything. She won $188 million. She tied $1.5 million to her church. Wanted to give her kids a better life, but love complicated everything. Marie Holmes spent a staggering $21 million bailing out her boyfriend, Lamar McDowell. And you may be saying, Naomi, that is unbelievable. Tell me more. So let me tell you how it broke down. A $3 million bail for heroin and weapon charges. $6 million bail after a raid uncovered drugs and firearms. And a $12 million bail for organizing a street race. Lastly, $1.47 million in non-refundable bail bondsman fees. All of this came from her $88 million lump sum payout after winning the $188 million Powerball. Nearly a quarter of her fortune was risked on a man who kept getting arrested. She said she was just trying to do what is right, but the world judged her. The church praised her, and the internet dragged her. But behind the numbers was a woman trying to hold her family together. And that's the danger of sudden wealth. Marie had love, but love isn't a financial plan. Sudden wealth doesn't just test your finances, it tests your heart. Marie didn't just win the lottery. She won a dream she thought would heal everything. But love, tangled with millions, can turn into a transaction. She gave, she forgave, and she paid the price. Because sometimes the heart writes checks the soul can't cash. So tell me, have you ever tried to fix something with money? Drop a money bag if yes, or comment the hard way if no. These aren't just stories, they're warnings. Sudden wealth doesn't just change your bank account. It changes how people see you. Some will love you, some will use you, some will destroy you. So you've seen the headlines, the mansions, the mugshots, the overdoses, the divorces. But what if I told you there's a name for this? It's called sudden wealth syndrome. You win big and suddenly you feel guilty, you don't trust anyone, you spend fast to feel safe. Your brain floods with dopamine, you chase the high. But then comes the crash. You isolate, you panic, you lose control. And if you don't have the right support, you lose everything. Sudden wealth is a test, and only to those with wisdom, boundaries, and support pass it. So would you tell people if you won the lottery? Comment yes or no, and why. Not every lotto story ends in tears. Some winners build legacy, not just lifestyle. They don't just survive the jackpot, they transform it. You probably heard that 70% of lottery winners go broke, but let's be honest. There's no conclusive study confirming that number. According to the National Endowment for Financial Education, the data is murky. Still, the risks are real because sudden wealth is a test, and only those with wisdom, boundaries, and support pass it. But some do more than survive. They transform their win into purpose. Now, let's talk about some real-life success stories of the lottery. Not every lottery story ends in heartbreak. Some winners build legacy, not just lifestyle. So let's talk about the Pearly Smith family. They won $429.6 million playing Powerball in 2016. Pearly Mae Smith, a 70-year-old matriarch, and her 7 adult children. They lived in Trenton, New Jersey, and came from modest working-class backgrounds. One daughter was a retired prison administrator. And how they won? The numbers came to them in a dream. They call it divine intervention. What they did, instead of chasing luxury, they created the Smith Family Foundation, a great making fund to uplift their hometown. Their focus was education, employment, neighborhood development, and breaking cycles of poverty. Like the Pearly Smith family, they won $429 million in 2016. But instead of chasing luxury, they created the Smith Family Foundation, empowering their community in Trenton, New Jersey. That's what legacy over lifestyle looks like. Then there's Paul and Sue Renoza. Paul was a construction worker and a bulldoze operator. Sue was his wife. And together, they had 3 children. They lived in Whitaker, Minnesota. And why this mattered is because their granddaughter, Michaela, died of Crab disease, a rare neurological disorder, exactly 5 years before the win. Paul said that the win was divine intervention, a sign from God. So what they did, they gave away nearly everything but $10 million. They created the Rasana Family Research Foundation, investing $26.4 million into medical research for Crab disease. Their foundation helped push treatments into clinical trials. And Cynthia Stafford was raising 5 kids after her brother's death. She visualized winning every day. And when she did, she built a film company to follow her dream. She won $112 million after years of visualizing and praying. She didn't just spend, she built. She launched a film company to follow her dream. That's discipline back in the dream. These aren't just feel-good stories, they're blueprints. Because sudden wealth doesn't have to destroy you. It can elevate you if you lead with clarity, courage, and community. So turn your win into a legacy. Drop a star in the comments if yes, or comment purpose over pressure if no. Have you ever seen money change someone? Drop a money emoji if yes, or comment why money reveals people. So you've seen the fallout, the heartbreak, the betrayal, the isolation. But some winners don't just survive, they transform. When fortune strikes fast, it doesn't just bless, it exposes. And only the grounded survive the storm. So if you won the jackpot, read this twice. I'm gonna give you 10 rules for staying safe and sane. Number 1 is to sign the ticket, secure it. Number 2 is don't tell anyone. Number 3 is assemble your dream team, such as a lawyer, financial advisor, or a therapist. Number 4 is to be anonymous. Number 5 is don't rush to spend. Number 6 is to avoid sudden generosity. Number 7, understand your tax burdens. Number 8 is to pay off toxic debt first. Number 9 is to create a legacy, not just a lifestyle. And number 10 is to simply protect your peace. So would you tell people if you won the lottery? Comment yes or no in the comments down below and let me know why. Here's how to survive the jackpot. First, don't announce your win. Not to your cousin, your coworker, not even to your group chat. Secondly, assemble your dream team, a lawyer, a financial advisor, and a therapist. You'll need legal protection, emotional clarity, and financial strategy. Number 3 is to set boundaries because the fallouts will come. And if you're not ready, it'll take more than your money. Tag someone who swears money will fix everything. And if you ever win big, remember this video. So pause with me for 1 second. If you've been watching quietly, I want to ask you for a favor. This channel isn't just content, it's a movement, a space for financial wisdom, emotional healing, truth, and practical tools for better living. Right now, only about 10% of viewers are subscribed. So if you felt seen, challenged, or uplifted by anything so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Your support means the world to me. And to the 76,000 souls already walking this journey with me, I thank you guys so much for subscribing. You're not just watching, you're building something bigger. And I thank you for being the heartbeat of this space. Okay, now back to our chat. Here is something I need you to remember. Life isn't just about surviving, it's about living with intention. And when it comes to money, especially lottery wins. So listen close. Wealth without wisdom, that's a trap. Money doesn't fix what's broken. It just turns up the volume. So if you're hurting, it won't heal you. If you're solid, it'll still test you. So before you chase the jackpot, ask yourself, do I have the emotional tools to handle sudden change? Do I know who I can trust? And do I have a plan that protects my peace? So if you ever win big, don't just chase the lifestyle, build the legacy. Protect your peace, guard your heart. You don't need $1 billion to live well. You need clarity, courage, and community. Again, this is Living the Journey with Naomi, and if you stay to the end, you're not just a viewer. You're shifting, growing, becoming. I thank you guys so much for showing up, and I will see you guys in the next video.